Welcome to New Business in Later Life, where we prove that it's never too late to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams. You will meet remarkable individuals who launch successful businesses over 50, sharing their stories, challenges, and enthusiasm. Your host, Ildiko, is a former social housing professional, textile designer, and teacher who described herself as a life artist. She is now a property professional, business network host, and facilitator of the Entrepreneurs Club. Subscribe now to hear these inspiring stories every week.
I find that your website is performing better
Yes.
than galleries.
Yes.
How interesting.
I sell a lot of stuff directly to the public than I do through galleries.
Bearing in mind, I mean, no disrespect to galleries, because obviously they need to be open
Yes.
and there's only a limited amount of artwork they can display and so on, and they take a huge commission. So is it more beneficial for you to sell directly to the public through your website?
Yes, it is, because for a start, I want art to be affordable for people. I guess it's business acumen, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, Fabio that's my partner, gets very annoyed with me because he says I sell my art too cheap.
Which you probably do, but yeah.
But I like to think that people who maybe couldn't afford to go into a gallery, because you have to put your prices up in a gallery to compensate for the 50% that you're going to lose to the gallery. And so that makes it unaffordable for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there who still get a lot of joy from having a piece of original work. I sold a piece to a young neighbour who lived down the road, and she came by and she used to pop in for sort of things like cards and prints and things like that. And I had a piece of art that I had just finished. Oh, she said, I do love that. I love it.
Ready and it's for sale?
Yeah, I said you could put a deposit down and we can take it sort of monthly if you like, or weekly, or whenever you want to pay for it. And she was absolutely over the moon that she could do that. So I started doing that, and I call it my put back. And so I've got various collectors who regularly buy off me. They put a deposit down, and then as and when they can afford to pay me some money, they do it. I've got a woman coming to collect one today who's done exactly that.
Wonderful. And do you find that people pay all of the installments?
Yes.
Oh, that's
because
wonderful.
I keep the art until they've paid for it in full.
Oh, do you? Oh,
yes.
okay, fair enough,
Yes.
fair enough.
I don't let it go out the door with just, I'm not that bad with money.
No, I didn't actually mean it, but
No, I
because
know.
what I was going to suggest nowadays, it's actually fairly easy. So there's Klarna and there's the PayPal, I can't remember what it's called, but I've now recently bought a number of things where, that's an easy one, because it's over a certain amount of money, like 30 or 40 pounds. Then even PayPal gives you the option to pay in installments. I said, I'll just spread it over 3 or 4 months, which is brilliant.
Yes, yes. As an artist and business owner, you have to subscribe to the systems that allow.
Yes, of course,
that
and
to
then
be
you pay
done.
your commission again.
Yes, and I thought, well, yeah, okay, but then the person has to go through a few checks as well, and I thought, well, there's no risk to me, because I'm keeping the art until they pay for it. And I've never had anybody say that they can't end up paying for it, and some people sort of come and pay it quicker, and some people, spend maybe a few months paying for it, but it gets paid for in the end.
And then you send it off,
and then
or they come and collect it.
Usually they come and collect it, but if it's somebody far away. But I've never had somebody far away do that yet. It seems to be people who come to the gallery, trust me, know that I'll have it all there waiting for them when they've
Well, man, they see your gallery full of artwork, so I suppose... What are you going to do with it? Obviously, you want to pass it on to your customers, so I don't see why there wouldn't be any trust. But
no, it's a nice way of making. But I only do it for paintings over £100, because
Oh yeah, that's.
I've got to sort of
Well,
it would, yes, but a lot of my art is under £100 anyway. And because I like to make it affordable for people. I really don't. I don't need to make mega amounts of money, and I think that that's the problem with being an artist full time. If you have no more sort of money to rely on to pay the bills, and you have to solely
I was going to say that if you were giving any advice to somebody who wants to set up a business from their art or design work, I suppose at whatever age, but maybe at a later stage, like yourself, what would be your key advice to them?
I would say that be sure that you are going to be able to sell enough to keep yourself, because it could become quite stressful, I think, if you were producing work that wasn't selling and you weren't making enough, to keep yourself going, basically, with bills, etc. I mean, I've been very fortunate, and I think that it's because I think I have promoted myself quite a bit that I think, I have been successful.